Taxi vlog 221. That's about it. It is the 4th of September 2012. I just got a real shock to the system. There was a call from the pharmacy to renew my prescription. So I went through their automated system and typed in all the numbers and all the codes and everything else, and they said, yeah, my prescription would be ready by 5 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, fine. I get a call back about an hour later saying that they called, and I figured, well, I filled out the prescription, what's the problem? They called twice, and the second time I answered and found out that my medical insurance was expired for some reason again. Now, we have had problems with the medical insurance company a few times now. Every few months there's some problem. And the last time it was that the medical insurance was unable to get money out of Cindy's bank account to pay for this. And so Cindy went and changed bank accounts. And she made sure she had enough money in the bank account to cover the payment for the medical coverage every month. It's been about 8 months since the last time we had a problem. Anyway, they're telling me that my 2 prescriptions that will be ready tomorrow at 5 will amount to something like $500, which I ain't got. And I ain't got it because I just ain't got it. You don't budget for things like this, especially when you pay for your medical insurance every week or every month on time. So Cindy went back into her bank account, and it said that the last payment was made on the 16th of August. Now today is the 4th of September. You would think that the next payment would go out on the 16th of September or somewhere thereabouts. And Cindy said, well, that's unless they tried to take the money out on the 30th of August, and of course it wasn't there. There was not enough. They do some wacky things with paying. Sometimes it's every 2 weeks, sometimes it's 6 weeks in between, and I don't understand. They don't have a regular schedule for taking payments out of the bank account. And so this fucks with us every time. And so now we have to get this sorted out. I mean, and the last time it was a problem, Cindy signed a paper saying, yes, she would have the money in the bank account every time they take out a payment, blah, 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 blah. But when the payment schedule is so fucked up that they take one payment out and then 6 weeks later they take another one, and then 2 weeks later they take out another one, how are you supposed to be on top of that? And I told Cindy, I think that there should be enough money to make 2 payments in that bank account at all times. That's the only thing that bank account is being used for, to pay for medical insurance. So there should be 2 payments in there at all times to take care of their fucked up schedule. I don't know why it takes so long for us to figure this out, but to me it's very simple, but to Cindy it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I gave her an earful already. I told her how stressed this is making me and how fucked up it is. This is what's going on now. You may notice that I'm not going the same direction as I usually do. It is because I forgot my camera at home when I came out to work because of all this fuck up. So now let's talk about the week. I don't remember that well. I think the Tuesday worked out okay last week. 1 week ago. I think it worked out okay. I believe I may have had a couple of long fares at the end. Anyway, I think I was saved by an airporter in the end. Friday I came to work, it was busy. Busy, and smooth. I came out at around 9 o'clock, and I worked till 4:30. It slowed down at 4:30, but it was smooth. Every fare was one right after the other. I connected. It was easy going. The customers were relaxed for a Friday, which is usually not the night when they are relaxed. Usually they're more relaxed on a Saturday. But on the Friday they were in good spirits, and I came home with a nice little chunk of money. Good. Saturday at one point I was busy. It was shorter trips, but it was one right after another, and it was a little bit more pressing than Friday. It wasn't quite as relaxed a feel to it. It was more stressed, more hectic. And at one point I got sent to an address, and I get there and there's a girl standing out front. And she says, would it be okay if I took you rather than the cab that I called? I said, oh, you called another company? She said, yes. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I will call the people who are supposed to be in this building and coming out, and if they do not answer their phone, then I will assume that they are not there, and I can take you. Which is what I did. I took her. So on the way, we're just going along, and my phone rings. So I'm answering my phone. And she says, here, give me the phone. I'm saying, like, fuck, I'm giving you my phone. I'm saying to myself, like, fuck, I'm giving you my phone. I say, no. So I answer the phone, hello. And it was Cindy about something, saying that she got into the house because we had guests, and what she did was she loaned her vehicle to one of our guests, and in doing so she gave the whole keychain to the guest and had locked herself out of the house. Fortunately, her sister, who was visiting with her, was able to shimmy through the window and unlock the door. And so she called me back to tell me that everything's okay. She got into the house and I don't have to rush home to unlock the door. Meanwhile, my customer is saying, oh, I'm having an aneurysm. Oh no, I'm having an aneurysm. What? I hung up the phone. She's doing this while I'm talking on the phone. She said, oh, I was having a little heart attack there. I said, well, what's your problem? Well, you were talking on the phone while driving. Okay. At least I wasn't texting. I talk on the phone while driving all the time. Nothing has ever come from it. The general public might not be able to do so, but after driving cab for 20 years, I'm pretty good at multitasking. We used to have the two-way radio, you use a two-way radio. Using a phone is just like using a two-way radio. Same thing. And sometimes they talk to you while you're driving, and you got to answer. Anyway. And then she said, where are you taking me? I said, well, you wanted to go to such and such place, correct? And she said, yes. I said, well, that's where we're going. She said, well, how come you're going this way? I said, well, this way has fewer lights. Do you want to wait at traffic lights, or do you want to get there as efficiently as possible? She says, well, it just seems you're taking me around the back 40. I said, well, most people take the way where the traffic lights are red and you got to wait for them to change, but I don't. I take the direct way that has no traffic lights. Anyway, I got her there, and she tipped me generously, even though it was really wild and weird. And, you had the usual couple of fares with loud kids wanting to play some beats. So we played some beats to my sensitive ears. And I usually explain to people that I do not play the radio in a taxi. She said, well, don't you like music? I said, yes. In my own car, it's a different story. I'm not concentrating so hard on doing the job right. I'm just driving my own car. But when I'm driving a cab, I'm conscientious. And I want to get people there as efficiently as possible and as safely as possible. And if I'm distracted by them talking and the radio going at the same time, it adds a level of stress that I don't need, because when the radio is on, they talk louder. And back in the day when I started driving cab, we had the two-way radios. With the two-way radios, you can't hear what the two-way radio is saying when there is a music playing in the background, or even in the foreground, or whatever. So I'm in the habit of not playing radio in my cab. Besides, the programming is such that you hear the same song over and over again, and the same advertising over and over again. And you get really tired of it, especially if you're in the car as many hours as I am. Most people don't understand this. They're just going from home to wherever they're going. They're in the car for 10 minutes. They're not in the car for 10 or 11 hours like I am. Later on that night, it was around the bar rush hour, and I hate the bar rush. I don't go downtown. I don't like doing the downtown and the bar rush and all that stuff. I got sent to an address way out of town. Brentwood Bay, in fact. And I got there, and I phoned the phone number, and someone answered, and said, "Oh, good, you're here. We'll be right out." What came out was this guy who was so drunk. Ooh, police action over there. Let's just get right past it, shall we? Because we have our interior lights on, we don't want to, you know. Well, maybe we'll turn some of them off instead. Can you still see me? It's a little dimmer than it was, I guess. This guy was sloshed out of his tree. He told me where he wanted to go. We went there, and it was $24 or so on the meter. And he pulled out a credit card or Interac card, I don't know which it was, but the place where he lives is one of those dead spots where cell phones don't work very well, and where you don't get a signal for the Interac machine, and so it didn't work. And I said, well, just let me drive down the road to get a signal here. So we drove down the road, and we still didn't get a signal. And he said, oh, just take me back, I got cash in the house. Oh, okay, fine. So I took him back, and he went in the house, and he came back out with cash and paid with cash. But he was so sloshed, you know, he even had a beer with him. And at one point we went past a police car that was stopping somebody else. And after we turned the corner, a police car started following us on the highway. And like, the last thing I need is to get stopped with open beer in the car, because I'm the one who gets busted for this. How do you tell a drunk, leave your fucking beer there? Especially if he's bigger than you. Well, you can, but you don't make friends that way. And I like to work in such a way that I don't make enemies. Anyway, the Saturday night died around 4. It had been busy. It had been good. By 4 it was gone. It was dead. Sunday night. I came out Sunday night, and Sunday night was as good as a Friday or Saturday. Almost 400 gross for a Sunday. It was wonderful. I ended up having a good Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekends are usually good. Most long weekends suck. But Labor Day weekend, for some reason, I guess because the university kids are coming back into town, and because it's the last party of the summer before we have to go back to school and shit and blah, 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 blah. Labor Day weekend is a good one for the taxi business. And this year was no exception. It worked out very well. That was a Sunday, which kind of ended around... Actually, I still was getting trips towards the end, so that was good. Last night, Monday. Monday was also pretty steady. The only thing wrong with Monday was I got too much charges. I didn't get enough cash. So the owner of the taxi owes me almost the whole lease for tonight. That's okay. As long as I get paid in cash for everything tonight, everything will be fine. Then he won't owe me anything anymore. And my lease will be paid and everything will be good. So I had lots of charges last night. I ended up doing okay for a you know, Monday night. just too many charges. So I don't have any worries about money unless that crap with the medical insurance, it's always something, isn't it? School's back, watch your speeds in school zones, please. Yeah, but that only applies to day shift because it says school days during school hours. So that does not apply to me because I'm night shift. There you go. So what else is there? One more week to work after tonight, then I'm on vacation. I don't know if I'll be able to do or to make a taxi vlog next week because well, I should be able to record it. That should not be a problem, but getting it up in a timely fashion, because you see my schedule is that on Wednesday morning next week I have to go to the doctor's office. I have a 9 o'clock appointment and my plane is scheduled to leave at 11:30. Hopefully the doctor doesn't keep me too long, because I gotta be at the airport by 11 for sure. So if the doctor sees me at 10 and I'm out of there by 10:30, then I can get to the airport at 11, as long as the doctor doesn't see me late. Maybe if I get to the doctor's office early, then things will work out and I will be on time. Hopefully they work that way. I don't know if they work first come first serve, but usually they do. So, you know, if I'm there at 8 o'clock, 8:30, see the doctor at 9, I will have my bags packed already. I should be packing my bags on my days off, like tomorrow and on Thursday. Anyway, there isn't really that much more to talk about, except that I hope that yours is better than mine. Bye.